Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission advocates on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
Hi, and welcome to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We're in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. Thanks for being with us tonight. We're going to start out tonight's show talking with an organization called Buy Nothing Project. And I don't know if I'd actually call it an organization, but you're going to have to tell me all about that, Crystal. Crystal D'Imperio is here to talk about it. She is a volunteer local administrator, and I'm so happy to have you on the show.
Thanks. I'm so happy to be here, Monica.
I am too, especially after we got snowed out the last time you planned on being on the show. So Buy Nothing Project is something I'm actually active in now too, just fairly recently. Tell our viewers, if you would, exactly what that is.
So we call the Buy Nothing Project an experimental social movement, and it is a worldwide network of organization of groups of neighbors who are encouraged to give, receive, and share items and services and gifts of their time, and in which the true wealth is considered to be the web of relationships that is created between real life neighbors.
So there's no money exchange, there's no fee asked for anything, there's no payment given, except that the shared services or it's what you call a gift economy. Is that right? Is that
Yes.
the terminology that you use?
We do call it a gift economy, and yes, so it's not a nonprofit organization because there's no money exchanged at any point within our groups, and every position, every administrator in the world is a volunteer, including the two founders.
Wow. And was it founded like in the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, or was it?
Yeah, it was. It was
like
founded.
a Seattle area or something. That's if I remember
Yes.
correctly. Yeah. So, how did you become involved with it?
So I basically just was searching. So we use Facebook to organize our groups and to administer things, and that was just chosen because so many people are on it.
Right. It's pretty ubiquitous. I mean, it's yeah.
Yes, indeed. And so I was just searching for groups that were local to try to meet more people because, I think a lot of people feel like in this age that we're increasingly isolated, and I know that I felt that way, not being from the Portland area. So I was looking for places to make friends, and I found this group called Buy Nothing North Portland.
And so when you saw that, you looked at it and it appealed to you, I take it.
Yeah, the idea, I was thinking that it was sort of a free cycle type of thing where it would be just, free things for one another that you would give if you don't want any more, or you might look for things. But I didn't realize it would be more of a community that I would become a part of.
And it is that, isn't it? Because I haven't had as much interaction with it as I want to, just because I've been super busy lately. But it's one that I want to spend more time on, because when I do go on there, it's not just a matter of somebody saying, I have this that I'm no longer using. Does anybody want it? Or it's, does anybody have something that I could use or have or whatever? It's people are really connecting. They're connecting, and people are delivering to each other, or they're picking up and they're making personal connections that way too. Is that pretty much how you see it?
That's absolutely how I see it. We always aim for every gifting interaction to result in a face-to-face communication between real neighbors that wouldn't have maybe met any other way. And so we try not to have people just put things out on the curb and say, hey, I have a pile
Right.
outside of my house, which also just
Occasionally
doesn't
does
work because
happen
it's Portland.
sometimes, but yeah.
But yeah, it's we try to have it be where you will actually meet and get to know one another. And a lot of members have, do become friends. They become friends on Facebook and in real life.
Yeah.
And a lot of incredible gifts are exchanged between members.
You brought some actual screenshots of the website, or of the, is it part of Facebook? Is it actually part of Facebook, the Buy Nothing?
Yeah, there is an org site, a buynothing.org website that explains the mission, but the groups are all organized as Facebook groups using that platform.
Well, here's one of the things. So you want to read that to us, or just tell us?
Yeah, so this is a post that I made a few months ago, and it's for a game where we tried to get people to add on to the thread and comment with a gift that they could give they were offering up to anybody in the group that began with A and then proceeded on to B and C. And the idea was throughout the night to get all the way through the entire alphabet.
Did you make it through the alphabet?
We actually made it through the next morning.
Oh,
and
is that right?
I had fallen asleep because I have tiny children and I was very tired. But as I was falling asleep, I was just kind of running through my mind, I'm going to have to come up with gifts for the end of the alphabet because
those are tough letters, right?
Yeah, because they're tough. But they did it without me. So
say somebody said, I've got a, I don't know, what would A be? I have an apron or something, or B, I have a
baseball bat.
Yeah, board game, or baseball bat, anything. So I think cantaloupe. That's a really fun thing to do. Now this one says, if any of you are feeling the stress of tomorrow's school closures, must have been during the snow, December 7th, and need childcare, I'd like to offer solace. I'm not an officially licensed childcare provider, but I will give your kid a safe, warm place to hang and feed them. Room for 4 or 5 for families who don't have any other options. Only private message me if you're freaking out. Available as early as 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
I just thought that was such an incredible, unexpected offer that somebody
it's beautiful.
would make.
Yeah. It is.
And I know so many mothers and fathers too that were freaking out during this time.
Yeah, what am I supposed to do? I have to go to work, but I have nowhere to, and there was a lot of school closures.
No PTO, no.
Yeah, and you kind of make friends with it. You feel like you know these people after a while, because especially the people that are on there frequently. Oh, this one's nice. A gift of homemade bread. Former professional baker turned housewife. Rustic, crusty loaves are my favorite to bake. I will make your loaf when it's convenient for you to pick up, and you can choose between garlic, rosemary, and plain. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful gift. And she's just doing it because she wants to. She wants to share that.
She has this gift. And in the Buy Nothing project and the philosophy behind the movement, we believe that that giving should not just be from the so-called haves to the have-nots of society, which is often how we think of things, as being the people that have all the wealth give to the people who don't have the wealth. But we believe that everybody has things that are of value that they should be able to share among one another and give of their bounty to each other.
And that is every bit as valuable as money. You know, and sometimes more so, depending on, especially if you make that personal connection too. Yeah, I see that. So, well, for example, I reached out to you to see if I could have you come on to talk about this, and we find out we're neighbors. Yeah. And find out that I have a granddaughter who's right in between the ages of your kids. So hey, we may be hanging out with the kids in the summertime. I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about those kind of connections. Yeah, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's really exciting for me.
So what are some of the other stories? Do you have any other stories about things that have happened, like, connections that have been made that you can think of?
There really are a lot of things that happen in the group that are valuable connections, but we had one member who had lost a pregnancy, and
very tough.
We just had dozens, and she really came out with this story, and that was very personal. So she took a big risk there, I think. But we just had dozens of members who wanted to drop off food for her and her husband, and to drop off different comfort items to try to help them, and also others coming forward who had had similar losses and wanted to share that they were available to discuss this with
a
her.
ready-made support group right there. Yeah, and that's just knowing that people care that much, it's got to make them feel better. Got to make somebody feel pretty good to know that people that maybe don't even know you, wouldn't know you if they saw you in the store, care enough to want to reach out that way.
Yeah.
I've only had one so far, because I'm fairly new. I've only had the one interaction with as far as getting some. I have yet to offer anything, and I've got a bunch of stuff that I'm going to. I have a bunch of stuff. I haven't done it yet, but I have a bunch of stuff I've been going through, so I have things I need to offer. And like we were talking about earlier, there's things that you would never think to offer. You have I have leftover this from some art project that I would never think to offer to anybody, but I see somebody else offer it, and all these people say, yeah, I would love that. So you'd be surprised at the things that people want or will use, and knowing that it's getting used rather than going into the landfill or something is a really good feeling too. But I got these lovely shoes.
They are
focus
fabulous.
on those shoes. These are pretty awesome red patent leather shoes that I got from Buy Nothing.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty exciting. So yeah, when I went to pick them up, the woman who owned them wasn't there, but I met her husband and we had a nice chat. And I said I will be wearing those shoes on TV. So
Yeah.
I'll have to send her the link so she can see them. But it was really nice. I thought, wow, this is really cool. And now I'm going through my stuff, and I actually have a pile of stuff. I'm trying to decide if I want to put it up there or not. But it is surprising how many things people will. They want for one reason or another,
It really is, and that's a sort of a side effect and goal of the group is to really keep down needless consumerism and to keep useful items out of landfills.
Yeah.
And so we do see people posting washed out plastic bags or bottles that they have saved. Lots of people passing around jars for canning, and also goods that they've canned.
Right, and then people say, I'm having this outdoor rustic wedding, and I want to know if you have any different size jars.
Yes.
Because I'll put burlap or raffia or something around them and put wildflowers in them. It's like, oh yeah, I've got a ton of these jars.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really surprising. So what are some of the things you need people to know about Buy Nothing project that maybe we wouldn't know?
Well, so the main thing to know is that you can only join one Buy Nothing group, and that's in the area that you live in. So it's a very small local community. We have about 80 communities Buy Nothing groups in Oregon, and many all over the world in a number of countries, and we ask that people only post gifts that they want to give, and or offers, and asks of things that they want to receive, and posts of gratitude for gifts or that they've given or received in the past.
So what are the kinds of things you cannot post then?
We ask that people don't post things that are that you have to. That is like an opportunity that's sort of an affiliate opportunity, or where you get something if they sign up for something.
Right.
So we get those off the board when they're posted, which they are quite a bit, and that's what part of what we admins do is we filter out those kinds of
because sometimes people they may skim over the kind of the what I don't know if they call them rules or but. Yeah, sometimes you miss that. It's like, oh, I wasn't supposed to put that on there. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
And once people understand, I think it's great. But it makes sense that you only are in the community with your own neighborhood because the goal is to to make friends and to connect with your community. And you're right, people are not as connected as they used to be. I know when I moved into the place I live in North Portland, a gal that lived next door. There's a whole bunch of people that live in the house next door. This young man and this woman, they came to the door and they brought me cookies with a note with their telephone numbers. If you need anything, call me. I'm like, wow, that is so cool.
Side of shock right there.
I was like, really? This is so cool. I was I was very impressed that they did that because people just don't do that so much anymore, and that was a great thing. Yeah, it was wonderful.
And we also ask that people don't post trades. They don't. Which there's a human inclination in our way of society to say, well, if you give me this, I will give you something back.
Barter kind of system.
Yeah, and people want to do that kind of thing because they don't feel comfortable just asking for what they want or what they need.
Okay.
And so we ask people to edit their posts to remove the offer that they're giving back or to create them as separate offers and asks.
Oh, okay.
Which is always
and
fine.
if you meet somebody and then you want to do that on your own off the site, that's fine, right? I mean,
Sure.
you know, I mean, if that's what you decide to do.
We're not policing the,
Yeah.
the behavior outside
what you
of
do
the
outside.
forum. Yeah.
Okay, so if people are interested in finding out more about the Buy Nothing Project, they can go to buynothingproject.org.
Yes.
And
Buy Nothing
all the information there. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, we're out of time, Crystal. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think it's a great opportunity for people to connect with their community and to share things that maybe they no longer need, but somebody else would love to have, or vice versa. So thanks very much.
We'd love to have you in our group.
Great. Thanks. Thanks for watching this segment of Community Hotline. Don't go away. We've got a lot more left. I'm Monica Weitzel. Stay right where you are.
Hotline is made possible with generous support by the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission advocates on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
Coming here to shoot my documentary was more than I ever would have dreamed of doing.
This is a community media station.
It was phenomenal.
Ready, camera one.
What is it about this place that makes so many different people come together?
Ready, camera two.
Very professional, experienced people.
You can use these industry standard pieces of equipment.
Ready, camera three. Take three.
You don't have to be rich to do this.
Open people's eyes to something they've never even thought of before.
Cool stuff happens. It becomes this community.
That's going to really change who's telling the stories and who's controlling the messaging.